Hey, welcome back to the January House. This is Mike. In today's video, I will show you a few cool items shipping out of the store today. And then at the end of the video, we'll talk about this negative I got on my account. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, first is an item that's already packed up, ready to go. This is a pair of Columbia cargo shorts. Now listen, these were my personal cargo shorts at one time, so no making fun of the size. But I want to highlight that fact because I know in some areas, thrift stores are closed. There's no yard sales or garage sales to go to, and people are having trouble sourcing items. So go around your house, look for items. I'm sure you have things that you're not using or don't fit you anymore. Take some pictures of it, make a listing, and sell it on eBay. We sold these for $16.95 plus shipping. All right, next is another item that was in my closet along with those shorts. This is a Cliff Lee Phillies jersey. Cliff Lee was a pitcher for the Phillies at one time. And it has some civil rights game patch on it. Honestly, I don't remember where I got this at or where I bought it, how much I paid, anything. But it was in my closet and I wasn't wearing it. So I took some pictures of it and I made a listing and I sold it on eBay for $17 plus shipping. And individually, the sales aren't that great, but if you had $35 sitting in your closet, you'd pick it up and put it in your pocket, wouldn't you? Every little bit helps. Next is a cool vintage McDonald's Ghost bucket. So this is from 1986. And I found it in a storage locker and I wasn't really sure if it would sell because it has a crack in it here. Oh, let's see. There we go. But it also has the lid, which is good because a lot of them don't have the lids. Storage locker fine. And we sold it for $12.95 plus shipping. Next is another Mighty Max horror head. This is Zomboid. Storage locker fine, 25-cent cost. We sold it for $6 plus shipping. All right, these next two items have a good story as well. So first, I sold this ResMed heating tube replacement part. So this is a replacement part for like a CPAP machine, a breathing machine. It was new, open package. I sold it for $22 plus shipping. And then I got a message from the buyer and he said, hey, I'm looking through your storage, your other items. If I bought something else, would you combine the shipping? And I said, sure, absolutely. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I made a video earlier on creating store categories, and I'll put a link to it here. So if you're not using store categories, check out this video I made. It's really easy to do, and it helps. Along with that tubing replacement part, I also sold this U.S. Second Army patch for $3.50. But again, it's not a big sale to go along with it, but it's $3.50 I didn't have. The way the guy found it was because he was looking through my store categories. Check out my video. It's pretty easy to do and may lead to additional sales. Finally is the Citgo toy tanker truck. This is similar to like a Hess truck, but this is Citgo. And from 1997, so this is vintage as well. Storage locker fine, 25-cent cost. And we sold this for $12.10 plus shipping. Okay, let's talk about this negative feedback I received today. All right, so I sold this item a few weeks ago. It's a Kayla U-Bass guitar and shipped it out. And last week I got a return case opened on eBay against me for this item. And the reason was the buyer said, we think this item is inauthentic, was the reason that they gave eBay. eBay approved the return. A few minutes later, I got a note from the customer saying, hey, I think this is a counterfeit item and not worth the $200 that we paid for it. Please let us know what we can do to rectify this situation, okay? So it sounded like they were fishing for a partial refund, all right? Let me just explain that for me personally in my store, my situation, I made a decision early on to never do partial returns. I just do not do them. I don't offer partial returns because my thinking is if a customer is unhappy about an item for whatever reason, if it's broken or if it's not what they thought it was, no amount of money is gonna make them be happy about their purchase, right? At least in my mind, I wouldn't be happy if I spent $100 and it wasn't what I thought it was or it was broken. And if I only paid $50 for it, that would make me feel magically better about it, right? So I have the same verbiage that I use for every buyer that wants to make a return with me. I write them back and I say, I'm sorry to hear that you're not completely satisfied with your purchase. Please return the item, and upon receipt and inspection, I will issue a refund, okay? So, and I offer free returns, 30-day free returns. So the label gets paid by me and sent to the customer. Notice I didn't say a full refund in that verbiage, because sometimes if the item comes back to me and it was new when I sold it, but it was opened and used, well, I can't sell it new again, right? So I have to deduct something, because now I can't sell it as a new item. I have to sell it as pre-owned, and eBay will allow you to make a deduction on a refund. You have to give them a reason. That would be a good reason, right? So in this particular case, I added a little bit to that statement. I said, sorry to hear you're not completely satisfied with the purchase. The item is authentic. I do not offer partial refunds. Since you opened the return case already with eBay, please send me the item back, and upon receipt and inspection, I will issue a refund. And then that was it. I only ever message a buyer one time. I tell them my policy and let them make the decision. So 2 days later, this buyer sends me another message with pictures of the Made in China sticker on the back. So their whole thing was that this guitar is counterfeit because it was made in China. And a picture of the quality. There was one specific part of the guitar that they thought was bad quality, and another sticker inside the guitar that they thought was cheaply made, or a photocopy sticker. And they said, you can see by these items that it's counterfeit, but my son loves the guitar and we'd be willing to keep it for $80. So here they are, they're actually asking for the partial refund in this second email. So another thing I do with returns is I never get into a back and forth with a buyer. I'm not here to defend my item. I'm not here to put you down for making a return. I tell you what the policy is one time, and then you can make the decision on what you want to do, okay? So I didn't respond to this second email that the buyer had sent to me, because there was really no need. I wasn't going to tell them over again that, I'm sorry you're not happy. I don't do partial returns. The item is real. Please send it back and I'll issue a refund. So I just ignored it. And today I woke up with a negative and it said, buyer sold us a counterfeit item. Okay, so what are we going to do? Let's talk about what we're going to do and what we're going to not do. Maybe we'll start with what we're not going to do first. What we're not going to do is we're not going to get on Facebook and the internet and message boards and cry and rant and rave about how eBay's terrible and buyers are terrible, and I don't know why I'm a reseller with these buyers, and maybe I should rethink my life and my business. We're not going to do all that. There's no positive outcome for that, okay? We are positive. We're going to do positive things, right? We're going to move forward. So we are going to, one, report the buyer. So when there's a refund case open, which this case is still open, eBay accepted the return. I accepted it as well. So there's a label out there for the customer to ship this item back to me. So when you go to the return screen on eBay, there's three options. You can contact the buyer, you can refund the buyer, or you can report the buyer. It's a drop down. So I selected report buyer. And then when you report the buyer, there's a number of options you can select as well. One of them is like if they returned the item but it was damaged. But I chose the buyer made a false claim, because the buyer opened this return on the premise that because the item was made in China, it's counterfeit. Well, a simple Google search of the model number, which I have in the title and the description, shows that this guitar was in fact made in China. Now, this company does make guitars here in America, in California. Their higher-end guitars are made here, but they had a line, this line is discontinued now, that was made in China. And this is one of those guitars. So the buyer made a false claim. So I typed all that out in the reason why and hit send. So the buyer's been reported to eBay for making a false claim. The next thing I did was I went on eBay for Business Facebook page and sent them a message. And I found that this eBay for Business Facebook page, I get a faster and more thorough response by contacting eBay through this method versus calling their customer service line. And I think it might just be for store owners. I'm not sure, but I do have a store, and this was sold in my store. So I sent them a message, and you need to send them some information like your name, your email address associated with the account, the return number, and then a brief description of what happened, and then you kind of just wait. And normally it's not that long, like an hour or two. I'm sure it'll be a little longer in today's current situation with this virus stuff, but I asked them, one, can we close this return? Obviously, this buyer is not sending this back. They've had the opportunity to do so now for a week, and they haven't. And then, can I get this negative feedback removed? So we're going to wait and see what happens. So again, I'm not going to be negative about this. I'm not going to hang my head today and go in a corner and cry about this negative that I got on my account. I'm going to take pictures of items. I'm going to list items on eBay, and I might even source some items from somewhere. We'll see how the day goes. That's what I'm going to do proactively. And when you think about it, you got to think big picture. Like, think about your favorite restaurant or coffee shop or item that you use every day of your life, like travel coffee mug, okay? Go online to either Yelp or Google reviews, and I'm sure you'll find a negative review on your favorite restaurant or your favorite item that you use every day, saying that this restaurant is terrible, the food's terrible, I'd never eat there, or this travel mug doesn't keep coffee hot or at all, or whatever, right? And you know that's not true. And it's one review out of how many? I mean, you see the picture of my thumbnail. This month alone, I got 92 positive reviews and 1 negative feedback. Now, the bad thing is, if eBay decides to leave that negative there, it's on there for a year. But you know what? There's nothing you can do about that either. Why cry and complain about it? It's eBay's platform. They can do whatever they want. If they want to not remove your negative feedback, that's their decision. And you know what? You're going to have to live with it. And being negative about it or upset or letting it affect your day is not helping you move forward in your business and continue to grow your business, especially when you have multiple other feedbacks that are positive. I mean, if you look at my feedback, it's fast shipping, item as described, great seller. So those are the things I focus on, not the one negative feedback that I got today, even if it stays. So I'll keep you updated and let you know if it gets removed or not, or what happens with the return. So I thought I'd just tell you the story about what's going on here with this return. It started last week. I didn't talk about it because I wanted to see how it went. But I obviously didn't let it affect my day or days since then. Move forward, be positive, don't be negative just because you got a negative. And that's all I have for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment down below. What do you think? Is my approach for returns and negative feedback, is it good? Is it bad? Is there things you would do different? Do you offer partial refunds? I don't. So let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more great videos. Thanks.